Greetings, my name is Neosekken, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 2. Now, I just had a very close call. I already started recording this episode just a few minutes ago, but like about almost 3 minutes into it, as I was doing my recap, I noticed that I had my mic's gain level adjusted to 0, so my mic was undoubtedly not picking a peep of any sound at all. And I'm glad that I caught myself when I did, because if I just went ahead and proceeded with the episode, not realizing that my mic wasn't able to pick up any sound at all, and then I'd realize, like, I don't know, about halfway into the episode, if not maybe an hour or so in, that I've basically been talking into the ether, and none of you guys could really hear a peep out of me. That would have just been heartbreaking. So, holy shit, am I glad I noticed it when I did. Anyway, with that out of the way, as for what happened in the last episode, well, after everybody left the restaurant and Reina left Keiichi some hints as to what exactly has been bothering Mion for the past few days, Keiichi basically realized that he's been essentially dismissing Mion's femininity and her romantic feelings for him, and her obviously hinted romantic feelings for him. At a lot of different turns, actually, without meaning to, of course, but yeah, it just ended up hurting. It ended up just piling on some emotional weight on Mion, and it's just been really getting to her. So as Keiichi was going with Shion around town after they left, because he still thought that Shion was Mion, they ended up happening upon the toy store that happened to be the same place where the club had that game tournament at the beginning of Chapter 1, where Keiichi ended up getting himself a doll as thanks for the game tournament, but ended up giving it to Reina instead of Mion, who actually really wanted the doll, Keiichi to give her the doll. So, in an attempt to make up to quote-unquote Mion, everything that happened up until that point, he decided to take Mion inside the store and buy whichever doll that she wanted. And it just so happened to be the same kind of doll that Mion wanted Keiichi to give her. But lo and behold, the very minute that they walk into the store, it turns out that Mion was actually there working a shift, and long story short, Shion essentially just kind of revealed that, well, Keiichi and Shion were on a date, and that they came in here to basically get Shion a doll, not unlike the one that Mion almost got at one point, but didn't. Needless to say, Keiichi's brain stopped working. Mion was heartbroken, and here I am, feeling bad for Mion, but also at the same time starting to feel very anxious as to what's going to happen from this point onward, because given everything that happened in Chapter 1, I know I love citing the hell out of Chapter 1 and how bad that went, but I think I got good reason to. I have a very strong suspicion that the hurt feelings that are going to be expressed from Mion to Keiichi from this point forward are going to be more than a little angry. Probably even a bit homicidal, actually, for all we know, if she ends up just flipping her shit. I hope I'm wrong, but somehow I have a feeling I'm not, and we're just going to witness a very, very tragic end to this love story. So, yeah, I'm very anxious to hit continue and see where everything's going to take us, but unfortunately I can't exactly advance the plot forward without hitting continue, so I'm just going to man the hell up and just click it. The next day. It was a strange day, where Mion was desperate to regain her composure. Every time our eyes met, she would say she had something to do, or that she had to use the washroom and run off. Unable to just watch, Reina was taking care of her the entire time.
今日のミオンさん、徹底的に変ですわね。
Mion-san, She's acting totally strange today. Well, that's because Keiichi fucked up big time here.
一部始終を知ってはいるんだが、なんとも説明しづらい。
I know the whole story, but it's hard to explain. Well, then let me explain it for you. You've ended up confusing Shion for Mion for the better part of a week, and right when you were going to try to make up to quote-unquote Shion for how callous you were acting towards her on several occasions, you ended up finding out in the most harsh way possible that you were wrong about Shion and Mion being the same person, and well, you just kind of ended up hurting Mion's feelings big time when you and Shion ended up going into the toy store to end up buying quote-unquote Mion, a doll that she wanted you, Keiichi, to give her a while back during that game tournament. There, I explained it for you. Was that so hard?
女の子には不安定になる時もあるのです。
There are times when girls are emotionally unstable.
放っておいてあげるのが一番なのですよ。
It's best to just leave her alone. Turning around, I saw Reina calling me from the hallway. You might be in for it, boy. I wondered what it was.
ケイチくん、こっちこっち。
Keiichi-kun, over here. Over here.
なんだよ、こんなとこに呼んで。
What is it? Calling me over like this.
内緒話か？
Is it a secret?
その、災難だったみたいだね。
That is... It looks like it was a disaster. Yeah, I think that accurately sums it up. Yeah. Now's not the time for laughing. Now's the time for sweating.
みーちゃん、かなり壊れてたけど、なんとか直しておいたから。
Mi-chan seemed pretty broken, but I somehow got her working again.
よく直せたな。
I'm surprised you managed it.
一体どうやって？
How did you exactly...
テレビと同じ。
Same way I do with the television.
斜め45度くらいの角度で、えいって。
Just come at from a 45-degree angle and yeah! I think it would take more than just a little recursive maintenance to fix the damage that Keiichi ended up doing here. Just saying. Saying that, she made a chopping motion. You know I can't tell if you're joking or not, right?
明日からは大丈夫だから。
She'll be fine by tomorrow. I sincerely doubt that.
だけど、ケイチ君にもお願いしたいことがあるの。
Also, there's something I want you to do, Keiichi-kun. Get a different brain? Because the one that he's got is, not functioning properly?
悪気はないんだが、なぜか罪の意識もある。
I didn't mean to do anything wrong, but I still feel guilty.
何でも聞くぞ。
I'm listening.
助かる。みーちゃんはね、昨日までの数日間のこと、なかったことにするから。
You see, Mi-chan is just going to pretend the last few days never happened. Never happened, huh? Yeah, bottling up your emotions like that isn't exactly good for you. I see. Well, that's one way to run from it.
だからね。
So you see...
ケイチ君も、なかったことにしてあげて。
Keiichi-kun, could you pretend too? I don't think we should be encouraging this, to tell you the truth. Which, you know, given what I was just saying a few minutes ago about my fears about what's going to happen, I guess, yeah, it sounds a bit contradictory, I guess, but I have a feeling that just letting everybody bottle everything up is just going to somehow make things even worse. So, you know what? If we're going to be fucked in the ass at the end of this anyway, I'd rather Keiichi just go out trying to defuse the situation in a more responsible fashion, you know?
それでみーちゃん、いつも通りだから。
Like, be honest. Just be honest about it. You know, why you screwed up, why you did everything you did. A case of mistaken identity because I'm a dumbass. Just tell her that. Then Mi-chan can go back to normal.
そんな簡単なことで、本当に大丈夫なのか？
Just doing something as simple as that. Is it really going to be okay? Not really.
お願いだから、みーちゃんの心の整理がつくまで、そっとしておいてあげてよ。
Please, until Michan gets her feelings in order, just go with it. I can understand waiting a day or two, but... Yeah, okay. You're just only suggesting for a short time then, at least. That's fine.
わかったよ。
Okay. I got it. Even though I shouldn't have been at fault. For some reason I felt guilty. You kind of were at fault, to be honest, because, I mean, you are just phenomenally stupid in this chapter, it seems. The one at fault here was the one who knew about the entire situation and pretended to be Mion for an entire day. Shion! Well, yeah, she certainly has a lot to answer for too. That's true. But she never once said she was Mion. Well, yeah, she's been saying all this time that she's been Shion. What am I supposed to be angry at? Yourself for being a dumbass? Seeing me stomping the ground impatiently, Reina giggled.
でも、ケイチくんもわかったでしょ？
But Keiichi-kun, you knew as well.
みーちゃんにも可愛いところがあるんだって。
That Michan has some cute things about her. Reina talked in a calm voice as her hair rustled in the wind.
ああ。
Yeah.
退屈しないやつだということがわかった。
I know she'll never let it be boring.
よかった。
Good. Following this curt reply, Reina looked up at the sky and stretched.
ケイチくんがそれに気づいてくれれば、この数日間の出来事はすぐに笑い話になるんだよ。
As long as you realize that, Keiichi-kun, these past few days will soon be nothing more than a story to laugh about. You mean laughing in bitter tears over how badly I screwed things up? I can totally believe that. Laughing so hard, it kind of comes out like sobs. Copying Reina, I also began to stretch as I looked at the sky. The clear sky towered into the distance.
今日は部活も何もなし。
There's no club activities or anything today. No surprise there, given the state Mion's in right
今
now.
日だけは申し訳ないけどケイチくん、下校は一人でいいかな。
That and, well, Mion would understandably not want to look at Keiichi for a while. I'm sorry, Keiichi-kun, but just for today, can you go home by yourself?
明日からは元通りだから、今日だけ。
It'll all be back to normal by tomorrow, so just for today. Okay, what's your guarantee? Just out of interest. I don't think things are going to be as straightforward as you make it sound. If all it took for everything to go back to normal was to leave Mion alone for today, then it was an easy decision to make.
わかったよ。
Got it.
ミオンに面と向かって言えないから、レナに言っとく。
I can't say it directly to Mion, so I'll say it to you. I think it would mean more if you said directly to her.
なんだか申し訳ないな。謝る。
I still feel kind of guilty about it, so I want to apologize. No.
元はといえば、ケイチくんが無神経なことを言うからいけなかったんだよね。
The root of the problem was Keiichi-kun saying something insensitive, right?
これに懲りて、少しはデリカシーってものを身につけるんだよ。
So if you learned anything from this, you need to look a bit into getting a sense of delicacy.
へいへい、努力します。
Right. I'll try. You better try, cause I mean, she knows what she's talking about here. That day was the shortest day of my life. Reina was talking to Mion while accompanying her around the entire time. It looked like a really fun conversation, so I reflexively thought about joining in, but I made a promise not to. It seemed that Mion was also trying her best to ignore me. So likewise, I did my best to ignore her. I still feel like this is the wrong thing to do here. For the first time in a while, I ate lunch alone. Mion and Reina ate theirs by themselves. As I let out a sigh in my ashen mood, Rika-chan came over and patted me on the head.
ケイイチもミーもいっぱいいっぱいお勉強しましたですね。
Both Keiichi and me learned a whole lot. I never say it like that. It made it sound like we were having romantic problems. Aren't you? I didn't like that one bit. Hopefully the teacher wouldn't notice and call us to his staff room after school or something.
きっとケイイチは素敵な大人になれますですよ。
I'm sure that Keiichi will grow up to be a wonderful adult.
なでなで。
リカちゃんはお勉強家だから、すごい素敵な大人になれそうだな。
Rika-chan is the studious type, so maybe you'll grow up to be an amazingly wonderful adult.
もちろんなのですよ。
Of course.
僕は大人になったらすごいすごいのです。
When I grow up, I'll be super amazing.
あら、私も大人になったらすごいレディーになるんですのよ。
My, when I grow up, I'll be an amazing lady, you know. So amazing that you'll wear the pants in all your relationships.
サトコはいくつになってもお子様だと思うぞ。かけてもいい。
No matter how old you get, you'll still be a brat. You can put money on it. Incoming, wah! Keiichi's being mean to me. In 3, 2.
なんですって？
Oh, what did you say? Close enough. As Satoko snapped her... Hello? As Satoko snapped her fingers and a wash basin fell from above, hitting me squarely in the head. Good fucking god.
いってー。
Ow.
何しやがんだ、サトコ！
What do you think you're doing, Satoko? Bang, smash. Pinch, squeeze. It was a day I could thoroughly appreciate the value of having friends. Today was Saturday, so school ended in the blink of an eye. It felt really good to go home with the sun so high in the sky. On any other day, our club would have been up to mischief during our ample after-school time. But today, Rika-chan had a rehearsal for tomorrow's Watanagashi to go to. It's almost here.
リカちゃんはどんな調子？
How's that going, Rika-chan?
練習はバッチリ。
Do you have it down in practice?
去年よりは頑張りますです。
I'll try harder than last year.
去年は終わった後、ヘトヘトの汗だらけだったんだよね。
You were so exhausted and sweaty after last year's ceremony.
今年はもっともっと様になってますわよ。
She'll look far more fit for the role this year.
特訓の成果、ご期待あそばせですの。
Please, look forward to the fruits of her training. The Watanagashi festival everyone had been talking about was tomorrow, wasn't it? The festival being in June felt a little early to me. But the onset of summer came quickly this year, so it fit the image of a summer festival pretty well.
じゃあ僕たちは失礼しますです。
Okay, we'll be off then.
明日を楽しみになさいませ。
Look forward to tomorrow.
それではごきげんようですわ。
Good day to you all. Satoko and Rika-chan waved us energetically, then left.
そういえば聞いてなかったんだけど、祭り会場ってどこなんだ？
You know, I never asked. Where's the festival happening
こ
anyway?
の辺って祭りのできそうな場所なんてあったっけ？
I don't remember there being anywhere around here that seems suited for hosting one.
フルデ神社でやるんだよ。
They do it at the Farood Shrine.
ほら、以前にみんなでお散歩した時に行ったでしょ。
We went there for a walk one day, remember?
あの見晴らしの良かったところ。
It was that place with a really good view. Oh. Right, I remember. There's a shrine all the way up on that hill, wasn't there? It seemed far too grand for Hinamizawa.
神社には立派な集会所とかもあって、老人会のカラオケとか習字サークルの会合とかを時々やってるからね。
There's a great meeting hall in the shrine too. The older people get together there and sing karaoke or practice calligraphy from time to time.
単なる神社というよりは公共施設のような雰囲気だね。
So far you seem okay on the surface talking to him, but I'm still concerned about what's under the surface. It's more like a recreational facility than a simple shrine.
なるほどね。
I see.
それなら立派なのも納得かな。
I guess it makes sense that it looks so grand to them.
みーちゃんちも今日の設営にはお手伝いに行くの？
Mi-chan, is your family going to help us set up today?
うん、男手がいるからね。
Yup, we have male hands for that.
町から親類が大勢手伝いに来るよ。
Most of our relatives come from town to help. Male hands, huh? Well, I mean, I have nothing to do at home today, so...
俺みたいのが飛び入りで参加すると、かえって邪魔になるか？
Would be a problem if I squirmed my way in there to help out too.
え？
Huh?
ケイちゃん、手伝いに来てくれるの？
You want to help us, Kei-chan?
迷惑なら行かねえよ。
Not if it'll bother you all.
単なる興味だからさ。
I was just kind of interested. We had bond dances and art festivals in a town I used to live in, but I didn't even know where they took place, much less wanted to help. You could say that I had absolutely no connection to the region. Having come to Hinamizawa, though, it really made me feel like this place was a home that I had returned to. Before I knew it, I harbored a little interest in the small community activity preparing for a festival the day before.
ケイチくん頑張れるかな？
I wonder if you'll be able to, Keiichi-kun.
テントを立てたり、パイプ椅子を並べたり。
There's a lot of building tents and setting up chairs.
結構重労働って聞いてるよ。
I hear it's pretty hard physical labor.
別に俺一人でやるわけじゃないだろ。
I mean, I wouldn't be doing it alone, right?
みんなでやればきっと早いぜ。
The more hands we have, the faster it'll go. Mion looked happy to hear that, but at the same time her expression was complex, tinged with hesitation. Reina gave her the last push for me.
じゃあ決定だね。
It's decided then.
行ってきなよ、ケイチくん。
You should go for it, Keiichi-kun.
みーちゃんはビシビシこき使ってあげてね。
He's all yours, Mi-chan. Put him through the ringer. I hope you don't mean that in a sinister way, putting him through the ringer.
レナの推薦じゃ仕方ないな。
Well, I can't argue for recommendation from Reina.
じゃあさ、帰ったらラフな格好で神社に来なよ。
Okay then, go home first, put on some work clothes, and come to the shrine.
汗拭き用のタオルもあるといいかもね。
Oh, you might want to bring a towel to wipe your sweat too.
よし来た。
Got it.
俺こう見えても太陽の下で汗をかくの嫌いじゃないんだぜ。
I may look scrawny, but I actually quite like breaking a sweat under this hot sun.
せいぜい腰を痛めないようにね。
Carefully don't hurt your back, okay?
じゃあ、おじさんはこの辺で。
Right. Enough of my old man spiel.
私も着替えたらすぐに神社に行くから。
I'll go to the shrine too, as soon as I've changed.
みーちゃんも頑張ってね。
Mi-chan, you do your best too.
バイバイ。
Bye-bye. Mion waved vigorously to us and left. As far as I could tell from her gallant, retreating figure, she seemed to have recovered from the weak state she had yesterday.
女の子
Yeah,
は
she
切り替え
seems
が早いんだから。
She seems to have recovered, but has she really? Girls are quick to get over things. Not all of them.
もうみーちゃんも大丈夫だよ。
Mi-chan is already fine.
うん。
Right.
あれだけ綺麗に切り替えてくれるとこっちも実に合わせやすい。
Her switching back to normal so cleanly really makes it easy for me to talk to her.
でも面白かったでしょ？
It was kind of funny though, wasn't it?
シンデレラみたいっていうのかな？
kind of like Cinderella.
魔法が解けたらもう会えないってところが。
Like you can't meet her anymore once the magic wears off. Raina began to giggle a fair bit in amusement. Did she like this sort of thing? Incidentally, me going along with it gave me a weird, hard-to-describe feeling. Did I turn myself into a plaything? Or did they do it for me?
そんなに面白いなら、レナももう一人の自分を演じればいいじゃないか。
If you think it's so funny, then you should try pretending to be a different Reina, too. You don't know what you're asking for, man.
面白そうだね。
Yeah, sounds like fun.
じゃあケイイチ君はどんなレナに会いたいかな。
Keiichi-kun, what kind of Reina would you want to meet? Preferably the kind that doesn't walk around with, weapons of murder.
アイドル真っ青のルックスと、俺の言うこと何でも確実に聞く器量よして頼む。
One with a bust size of at least 90. Huge knockers that you're okay with me touching.
そんなの無理。
I can't do that.
料理上手でお昼のお弁当を作ってくれて、朝は迎えに来てくれて。
She'd be great at cooking and make me lunch, come see me in the mornings. She kinda did that in the Chapter 1 continuity, though.
それいつもやってる。
I do that already, and in this one. I pull Reina's head into a tight grip, then start to pet it.
リュウグウレナなんだろ。
You're Reina Ryugu, right?
レイナじゃなくてレナ。
Reina, not Reina.
だからレナはいつまでもレナのまんまでいろ。
So you know about her, name's proper spelling then in this. So you just stay as Reina forever. Got it?
ありがとう。
Thanks.
お祭りのお手伝い頑張ってね。
Have fun setting up the festival.
おう、明日祭りで会おうな。
You got it. Let's meet up tomorrow. I got changed right away, and slinging a towel around my neck like Mion suggested, I set off for the mine. Here's the shrine. At the shrine, there were more people than you'd imagine. There are more people than you'd imagine even live in Hinamizawa there. All coordinating off areas and setting up tent frameworks, chatting amongst themselves as they did so. Alright, where's Mion? The liveliness of the throng didn't make it easy to look for her. I searched around as if I already worked there, and suddenly the principal called out to me.
前原君であるか。関心である。
If it isn't my Baraku. Interesting.
綿流しの準備のお手伝いに来たのかね。
Have you come to help with the Watanagashi setup?
え、ああ、どうも。
Hello.
何かお手伝いできないかなって思いまして。
Yes, I was just wondering if there's anything I could help with.
殊勝な心がけである。
How commendable your attitude is.
存分に汗を流すがよいぞ。
Feel free to sweat to your heart's content. Spurred on by the principal, I came upon a group of people setting up tents.
ありゃー、前原の兄ちゃんじゃねえの。
Oh, what's this? It's my Bara-chan.
ひょっとして手伝いに来たのかい？
Did you come all this way to help us? I hadn't found Mion yet, but I suppose I'd just get in her way if I ran into her.
おっす。
Yeah,
手伝いに来ました。
I'm here to help.
よろしくお願いします。
Just tell me where you need me.
若いのは元気があっていいね。
You young ones have all the vitality.
ほら、軍手つけて。
Here, grab some work gloves.
テントは組んだことあるかい？
Ever built a tent before?
いえ、初めてっす。
No, never. Delighting in teaching a new skill to someone younger, plenty of people happily taught me all sorts of things.
じゃあ、兄ちゃんは天幕の内側に入って天骨の紐だけ結んで。
Okay, kid, go inside the tent and tie up just the cords for the top.
結んだら足を立てて残りの紐も結ぶからな。
After that, we'll stand it up and tie the rest of them.
蝶々結びでいいんですよね。
Butterfly knots are okay, right?
よいしょ。よいしょ。
There and There.
結んだか
All done?
立てるぞ
We're standing it up.
いっせーの
1, 2, 3. What was once nothing more than a collapsed tent was raised on 4 splendid legs before my eyes in mere moments. Whoa. Seeing it put together like this is actually pretty moving.
ほれほれ感動してる場合じゃないぞ
Come on, no time to stare and wonder.
まだまだたくさんあるんだからな
We got a lot more to do.
トラックにテントを積んであるからここまで持ってきな
We packed the tents into the trunk, so go get them from there.
重いから2人でやれよ
They're heavy, so take someone with you.
大丈夫っすよ。俺こう見えても結構力あるんすから。
Nah, I'm good. I mean, it looks scrawny, but I'm actually pretty strong. Whoa! They look light enough, so I thought they were. But they're heavy.
だから2人で運べって言ったろ
That's why I told you to have someone help.
ほれほれ
Come on, said the man, lifting it up with a grunt and taking it away under his arm. Either I'm weak, or these old guys all have superhuman strength.
ほら一番若いんだから汗しないとダメだぞ
Let's go. You're the youngest one here, so we're going to make you sweat for it.
頑張れ頑張れ
Do your best.
終わった後のビールがうまいぞ
Beer after work is the best.
俺未成年だし。
I'm a minor. Sweat dripped from my body. I've been fully and completely absorbed in helping them. I would never have thought the cold barley tea from the Women's Society could taste this delicious.
若いからね
You're so young.
担当のみ
Make sure you drink a lot.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you. It was then that I realized a crowd had formed near the shrine a ways off. When I took a closer look, I saw a girl dressed in shrine maiden garb and a handful of old men looking like they were preparing for the ceremony together.
リカちゃんか
Is that Rika-chan?
おーいリカちゃん
Hey! Rika-chan!
頑張れよ
Do your best! I shouted, and it seems like she heard me. Rika-chan, positively exploding with vitality, answered with a smile. The older guys with me watched Rika-chan as well, with distant gazes.
リカちゃまも頑張るな
Rika-chama is doing a great job.
去年に比べるとだいぶ板についてきたみたいだしな
She seems far more used to this than she did last year. The old lady who gave me the tea clasped what looked like prayer beads in her hands and said,
リカ様ありがたやありがたや
Rika-sama, we thank you, we thank you. And just like that, began to respectfully pray to her. Huh? I just remembered that they called it the Furuji Shrine. Wasn't Rika-chan's full name Rika Furuji? Indeed it is. The man standing next to me answered my question.
そうだよ
That's right.
リカちゃまのフルデ一族は代々大社様をお祭りする由緒正しい一族なんだよ
Rika-chama's Furuji clan is ancient and honorable, and has worshipped Oyashiro-sama for generations. Huh. I always gotten the feeling she wasn't quite your average person, but it turned out she was from an esteemed family.
昨年神主様だったお父さんが亡くなられてからはああやって頑張って祭事を引き継いでおるんだよ
After her father, who was the shrine priest, died the year before last, she's really been doing her best to learn the rituals. I know this may not be a polite thing to ask, but how exactly did her father die? Just out of interest.
この立派になった姿神主様に見せたかったの
I wish the priest could have been here to see how wonderfully she's grown up.
え
What?
リカちゃんのお父さんってお亡くなりになったんですか
Rika-chan's father passed away?
よし休憩終わり
Okay, break time is over.
次は使わないパイプ椅子を 沖小の体育館に戻しちゃおっか。
Let's get the chairs we're not using back to the gym in Okinomiya. Translation, shut the fuck up and get back to work. We're not talking about this anymore.
K を回して何人か連れてってよ。
Maki-san, pull the truck around here and take a few people with you.
じゃあ前原君、最後にもう一働きしようか。
Alright, Maibara-kun, let's get to work on one last job. Yeah. Make me do more work? I can't tell if they know I'm a minor or not, but the older men all cheer me on, encourage me to do my best, and that the beer will be great.
Kei-chan, 頑張ってる?
Kei-chan, working hard, I see. I passed by Mion. She was carrying a big cardboard box. It looked like she was right in the middle of working as well. Judging by the sweat seeping into her shirt, it seemed I wasn't the only one with his hands full.
おー頑張ってるぜ
Yeah, I'm working my ass off.
ミオンも頑張れよ
You work hard too.
ビールがうまいぞ
The beer's gonna be great. We were worked to the bone until the sun began to set and it started cooling off. It was soon full-fledged night, and the clear sound of the Higurashi eased the moderate pain I felt. The older guys began their night before drinking party in a tent a fair bit off, causing quite a ruckus. The shrine grounds, on the other hand, had turned into a lonely road tickled by the cool evening breeze, despite being so festive just a little while ago. The wind felt good. I leaned on one of the stone guardian dogs on the front of the shrine. I gave my legs a good stretch as I let my mind wander, and suddenly, a paper cup filled with barley tea was thrust before me.
Kei-chan, お疲れ様.
Kei-chan, great work.
はい、麦茶です.
Here's some tea for you.
お気が利くな
You're so considerate.
サンキューみ
Thanks, me. Her voice sounded exactly the same, but it felt somehow different.
あお前は
Wait, Are you drunk?
どうも、
Oh.
シオンです.
Oh shit. Never mind. Hey, it's Shion.
気が利いているのはシオンの方.
Don't go giving Mion all the credit. You got a lot to answer for!
聞いてないのがミオンの方ですので、お間違いなきよ.
So she isn't considerate at all. Don't get us confused, okay?
シオンてめえ
Shion, you little!
ここで会ったが100年目
Now that I've caught you, you're not getting away!
ケイちゃんが勝手に勘違いしたんですよ.
It was your mistake, Kei-chan.
私は初めからシオンとしか名乗ってませんし.
I never said I was anyone other than Shion. I hate to agree with her, but she is right.
それを言われると弱い
Guess I can't argue with that.
そうそう。お姉にすらかなわないケイちゃんが私にかなうわけないんですからね.
That's right. You're no match for my older sister, so I can't let you be a match for me either.
それより麦茶.
Anyway, your tea.
ぬるくなっちゃいますよ.
It's going to get warm.
もう機嫌直してください.
Come on, please cheer up. Why should I? Give me a good reason. Maybe I just like being a Debbie Downer. You ever think of that?
だからこれ仲直りの麦茶ってことで.
I'm trying to make it up to you two with this tea. But didn't you know about the whole Whatever, man. Well, she did come all the way here to give it to me. I guess I'll accept it. I won't fully believe you until you get Mion in the same area here and say it right to both our faces. I took the cup and downed it in one gulp. And then suddenly... Ah! I heard a loud shout and it got stuck in my throat. Oh boy.
今度はどっちだ？
Which one is it this time?
本物のミオンか？
Is it the real Mion?
あんた、なんでまたケイちゃんと一緒にいるわけ？
Shion! Why are you hanging out with Kei-chan again?
お姉と違って、私は気配りとかできるタイプですから。
Because unlike you, I'm very considerate.
汗だくになってたケイちゃんを放っておけなくて、麦茶を持ってきたわけです。
Kei-chan was so sweaty. I couldn't leave him alone, and so I brought him some tea. This is not gonna end well.
ところで、お姉はなんで麦茶を2つも持ってるんですか？
By the way, why are you holding 2 cups of tea? Mion's face went bright red, and she tried to hide the paper cups behind her back.
いや、これは。
Well, this is... What, did you know that she was gonna somehow bring Keiichi tea and then just have tea with him and then you just beat her to the punch? Are you really, that competitive?
大雑把で自分さえ良ければいいお姉が、クラスメートの男の子に海外しく麦茶を持ってくるわけないですよね。
There's no way you, such a rough, timid, good sister of mine, would ever briskly bring a male classmate tea, is there?
結局何なんです？
So what are they?
その2つの麦茶は。
What are those 2 cups of tea?
これは、その。
These are... well... Right.
すっごく喉が渇いちゃって、2杯は飲めるかなーなんて。
I was just so thirsty. I figured I'd drink too.
お姉らしい。
That's so like you.
それ、一気。
Come on. Chug, chug. As Shion cheered at her, Mion downed both cups of tea, one after the other.
さすがはお姉、見事な飲みっぷりでした。
What a fabulous drink that was. I expected nothing less from you.
ケイちゃんも拍手拍手。
Kei-chan, you give her a hand too. Wait. Suddenly the situation has gotten unbelievable. Mion doesn't usually get manipulated so easily like that. I've known for a while now, but Shion is terrifying.
ミオンって、シオンには頭上がらないのか？
Mion, you can't hold your own against Shion?
私シオン嫌い。
I hate her!
この前からもっと嫌いになった。
And lately I hate her even more. Well, I can kind of understand that. Just then, I heard the snap of a camera shutter.
こんばんは。
Well, I was wondering if I'd see you again. Hello, Toмотaki and Mrs. I forget what your name is. Good evening.
いよいよ明日がお祭りだね。
The festival is coming up tomorrow.
今日は準備お疲れさん。
Thanks for all your hard work again. Thanks for all your hard work setting it up today.
こんばんは。
Good evening.
あら、シオンちゃん。
Oh, Shion-chan.
珍しいわね、こっちへ来るなんて。
It's quite unusual for you to come here.
ありゃ、富田家のおじさまに高野さんじゃないですか。
Oh, hey, it's Toмотaki-san and Takano-san. Takano, that's your name.
こんばんは。ご無沙汰いたしております。
Good evening. It's been a while, hasn't it?
いやあ、ケイチ君。
So you're that transfer student I've been hearing about. Keiichi Meibara-kun, right?
今日は張り切って仕事してたね。感心したよ。
You really did a bang-up job today. I'm impressed. I feel like I've seen this photographer guy before. Where? Have we met before? I'm glad you remembered. We passed many times on the road, Keiichi-kun. I'm Toмотaki. I'm a freelancing photographer from Tokyo. Is that where you are feeling this sense of familiarity from? Now that I think about it, there were a couple other occasions where Keiichi felt a sense of deja vu for things that were kind of similar to Chapter 1's events. What wasn't there? And this is clearly a different set of events from Chapter 1. Are you, like, remembering shit from, like, Chapter 1, Keiichi? And there really is some weird alternate timeline shit going on or whatnot that's actually interconnected with everything that came before? I mean, it's gotta be something like that. Otherwise, I mean, there's gotta be something that connects all these different chapters together. So, I'll just go with that theory for now, till I get some more definite information along the way.
こんばんは。私はわかるかしら？
Good evening. Do you recognize me? Well, I guess it is also possible I might be reading too much into this. Can't dismiss that possibility either.
すみません。覚えがないです。
Sorry, but I don't.
高野美代さんだよ。
She is Mio Takano-san.
ケイちゃんはまだ風邪とかで診療所のお世話にはなってない？
Do you remember when you were at the doctor's office when you still had a cold, Kei-chan? You mean like the cold he had back in Chapter 1?
美代さんは診療所で看護師さんをやってるんだよ。
Mio-san is one of the nurses who works there.
高野よ。
Call me Takano.
よろしくね。
Pleased to meet you.
治療に来るときは教えてね。太めの注射針を用意しておくから。
Tell me when you're coming in for treatment. I'll prepare a huge needle for you.
それはご丁寧にどうも。
It's very thoughtful of you. Tomitaki-san seemed to be quite entertained at the Sonozaki twins being in the same place, and he took picture after picture.
いやー、一卵性ソーセージとは聞いてたけど、並んでみると壮観だね。
Wow, I heard you two were identical twins, but it really is quite something to see you side by side.
本当にそっくりなんだな。
You really do look exactly alike.
そっくりなのは外見だけじゃないんですよ。ほら、下着もお揃い。
We're not just alike on the outside. See, our underwear matches too.
バカバカ！あんた何すんの！
You idiot! What the heck are you doing? Things have never been as lively as when the two of them are together. I thought they were exactly the same at first, but I've started to get a handle on which one is which. Mion is Mion, and Shion... Well, she seems a far better actor than Mion was. In the first place, somebody could spurn Mion so easily. Somebody that could spurn Mion so easily wouldn't have shown such weakness to those lard buckets at Angel Mort. If that was the case, then that cowardly behavior from that day was all... It was all a complete act. Apparently.
あの二人、昔はもっとそっくりでね。
They were even more alike than when they were little.
ご両親でもどっちがどっちかわからなくて手を焼いていたそうよ。
I heard even their parents had a hard time telling which was which.
すごく想像に容易です。
That's really easy to imagine.
ご両親のご苦労がよくわかります。
I totally understand what they must have gone through. Takano gave me a kind of odd look, but explaining would have been a pain, so I didn't bother.
富武のおじさまはまた綿流しの取材が終わったら東京にとんぼ帰りですか？
Tomitaki, are you going straight back to Tokyo after you get your pictures of the festival?
うん。本当はいつまでも滞在していたいんだけどね。
Yup. Though I'd rather just stay here forever. Now here's one question I'm thinking about. Is Tomitaki's relationship with you, Shion, the rest of the village, just as adversarial as it was in Chapter 1, for lack of a better term?
しがない大人の都合ってやつさ。
Or is it different this time? At least to some extent. Silly adult things, that's all.
お写真が早く素敵な賞を取るといいですね。お祈りしていますね。
I hope your photos win a fabulous prize soon. I've been praying for it.
ありがとう。
Thanks.
今度来るときには今日撮った君たちの写真も持ってくるよ。
Next time I come, I'll bring the pictures I took of you all today.
今日は前原くんもお疲れ様。
Just don't get yourself killed again like you did in Chapter 1 and then, well, yeah, all will be good then. Meibaru-kun, you did a lot of work today.
慣れない力仕事で疲れたでしょ。
You must be tired from all the physical labor you're not used to.
まあ、疲れたけど、結構楽しかったです。
Well, I'm tired, but it was still pretty fun.
若さね。羨ましいわ。
Youth. I'm so jealous. Takano-san smiled with an adult elegance that no one in my circle of friends possessed. The wind caught her hair. She gives off an intelligent beauty.
おやおや皆さんこんにちは。
Fancy seeing you here, Uishi. Oh, why hello everyone. It seems like our merry crowd was standing out. This time an overweight older man addressed us. And again, it was someone I thought I knew. If I recall correctly, he's a policeman, isn't he?
あら、大石さん。
Oh, Uishi-san.
こんばんは。
Good evening.
明日の警備の下見ですか？
Doing a preliminary inspection for tomorrow.
はははは。そんなところです。
Something like that.
おや、富武くんじゃないですか。
Oh, if it isn't Tomitaki-kun.
ご無沙汰しておりますね。
It's certainly been a while.
僕の名前を覚えていてくださったとは光栄ですよ。
I'm honored you remembered my name.
あなたもつくづくひなみ沢が好きですな。
You really do love Hinamizawa, don't you?
ここいらへんは東京よりもずっとアパートは安いですよ。
The apartments around here are far cheaper than the ones in Tokyo.
いっそ引っ越してくればいいのに。
You should just move here and get it over with.
仲のいい不動産屋を紹介しますよ。
I know a realtor I can introduce you to.
それは嬉しいですね。
I appreciate the thought.
その説はぜひお世話になりたいです。
I'd very much like to follow up on that.
ではでは皆さん、良いお年を。
Alright, everyone, have a good year.
園崎の双子さんも良いお年を。
And Happy New Year to the Sonozaki twins, too. What, you just came here just to say hello? I don't believe
良いお
that.
年を、大石刑事。
Happy New Year, Detective Uishi.
お仕事よろしくお願いしますね。
We appreciate your work.
今年は皆さんの手を煩わせない綿流しにしたいです。
We'd like to end this year's festival with the least amount of inconvenience possible.
こりゃ手厳しい。
That's pretty strict on me. Detective Uishi left us with a low laugh and headed off to talk to some police officers standing a ways away. I gave Mion a glance and saw her making an annoyed face, as if she were glaring bullets at someone she hated. Yeah, looks to be about as adversarial as it was before.
そうね。
Yeah.
今年は警察のお世話にならない綿流しになるといいわね。
It'd be nice if the police didn't have anything to do during Watanagashi this year. Going by this statement, I'm going to assume that the yearly Watanagashi murders and disappearances are also still at play here in Chapter 2.
君も好きだね。
You like this place too, don't you?
あら、二郎さんは嫌い？
Oh, you mean to say you dislike it, Jiro-san?
私、そういう夢のある話好きよ。
I quite enjoy such fantastic stories, you know.
潤いのない時代だからこそ、そういうのに憧れるの。
Especially with the times being so dry and uninteresting.
お社様のたたりか。
The curse of Oishiro-sama, you mean? Here we go. We're gonna bring up that topic again. Curse. Tomotaki-san used a troubling word. Then suddenly, someone tugged on my arm.
ケイちゃん、私お腹空いちゃったからさ。
Kei-chan, I'm pretty hungry. Translation: Kei-chan, you're not supposed. I don't want you hearing any of this. Come with me.
酒盛りのテントに行ってお菓子でも食べてこない？
Want to go to the tent of drinks and have some candy and sweets?
そうだな。
I'm up for that.
俺もちょっとお腹が減ったかな。
I've gotten a little hungry as well.
行こう行こ
Okay, let's go. A moment later, Shion said something to Takano and Tomotaki that stung my ears and gave me a start.
今年は誰が死んで誰が消えるんでしょうね。
I wonder who will die and who will disappear this year. Yep. Definitely in play this time as well. I pulled back from Mion's grip and stopped abruptly.
シオン、今、なんて言ったんだ？
Shion. What did she just say? It felt like the air around us dried out all of a sudden.
行こうよケイちゃん。
Let's go, Kei-chan.
つまんない話だよ。
They're talking about something silly anyway.
お姉はまだケイちゃんに話してないの？
You still haven't told Kei-chan.
私、そういう話は吹き込まない主義なの。
I make it a point not to spread stories like that. Shion's cold and quiet tone and Mion's harsh voice were quite the contrast.
おいおいおいおい、何の話だよ。
Hey, wait, hold on. What are you talking about?
知ってるなら教えてくれよ。
If you know something, then tell me.
俺だけのけ者なんて、なんだか気分悪いぞ。
It doesn't feel right being the only one left out, you know? Yeah, I agree. You should probably tell him, because if you just keep him in the dark, it might just make him start feeling paranoid again. And we don't want a repeat of history now, do we? I don't understand this. Someone explain it to me. However, Mion didn't seem to be at all willing to grant my request. She squeezed my hand in hers a bit, but when she realized I would hold my ground on this topic, she let go.
じゃあさ、私先に酒盛りのテントに行ってるよ。
I'm gonna go to the drinking tent first then.
早く来ないとケイちゃんの分なくなっちゃうからね。
If you don't come soon, Kei-chan, there won't be any left for you.
まあ、わかってるって。
I get it already.
すぐ行くから。
I'll be there soon. Mion left, trotting toward a particularly noisy tent on the other side of the shrine grounds. Before she got there, she stopped and turned back around. I showed no signs of going after her, though, so she ran off.
もしも聞いてないんだったら話してもいいけど、
I could tell if you haven't heard, I suppose.
ひょっとすると聞かないで彼女と一緒にお菓子を食べに行った方が賢明かもしれないよ。
But it might be smarter not to ask, and go with her to eat dessert. Hey now, you've already gotten my full attention here. I'm not going to leave without asking at this point.
ケイちゃんにも聞く権利があると思います。
I think Kei-chan has the right to hear this too.
お姉はその権利を奪ってただけです。
My sister was just stealing that from you. Shion's voice was bristling with thorns, as if somehow blaming Mion.
一体、何の話だって言うんですか？
What on earth are you talking about?
あんまりもったいぶられると不愉快ですよ。
I don't really like people acting so self-important. Takano-san, realizing how prepared I was, looked across the group. After confirming that there were no objections, she opened her mouth.
前原君はたたりを信じるかしら？
Do you believe in curses, Meibara-kun?
たたりですか？
Curses?
面白いとは思いますけど、あんまり信じては。
I think they're interesting, but I don't really. I felt their cynical stares and winced. It was like they were telling me it was stranger not to believe in curses.
ケイちゃんは間違ってないですよ。
You're not wrong, Kei-chan.
たたりなんて迷信もいいとこ。
Curses are just superstition.
信じなくて当たり前です。
It's only natural that you wouldn't believe in them. Interesting that you don't seem to really hold them to much account.
そうね。
Well, then again, I guess some of the club members didn't exactly hold that stuff fully to account either, but still.
それにたたりを信じるかどうかは話を最後まで聞いてからゆっくり考えればいいことなんだから。
Besides, you can take all the time you need to decide whether to believe in curses after you've heard us through. Said Takano-san, giving a little smile. You're trying to scare me. At least that's what it feels like.
じゃあ少し僕が話そうか。
Alright. I'll start.
ケイイチ君はひなみ沢ダム計画を知ってるかい？
Keiichi-kun, do you know about the Hinamizawa Dam project? Oh yeah. The other day at Angel Mort, Shion, or Mion rather, told me all about it.
確か、ひなみ沢が丸ごと水
No,
没
it
す
was
る
Shion that
巨大な
told
ダム
you.
の計画が発表されたって言うんですよね。
You mean the plan for the giant dam that would flood all of Hinamizawa, right?
その通り。
That's right.
それに反対するために住民運動が結成され、国と激しい戦いを繰り広げたんだ。
Residents of the town banded together to fight it, and a fierce battle with the government unfolded. I heard that too. The entire village united, using all the power at their disposal, mass media, political influence, and other things, and fought the country. The way Mion described it made it sound like a boast.
あれ？ずいぶん詳しいじゃないか。
Oh, you know quite a bit about it.
その通りさ。
Yes, you're right.
わずか1000人ちょいの村人たちが中心になって結束して、国の施策を跳ね返したという、ちょっとした武勇伝なんだ。
It's practically an epic tale. How just 1,000 or so villagers band together and rejected the government's plans.
その辺はお姉に聞かされてませんか？
Did you hear this from my sister?
この辺りの武勇伝はお姉も好きですからね。
She likes those kinds. Okay, yeah, now I think I remember. Mion did tell us about this stuff too.
ああ、
Yeah,
話してたよ。
she told me.
そのひなみ沢の人たちが結束して旗揚げした反対同盟の事務所があったのがね。
There was, however, an office for the Hinamizawa residents' opposition faction.
この神社なんだよ。
It was this shrine.
ほら、あの集会所がその名残よ。
You know the assembly hall? That's where it used to be.
解散後は老人会のサークル活動にしか使われてないけど、
Now
当
that
時はまさに最後の砦だったの。
now that the whole thing is over, the senior citizens just use it for group activities. At the time, though, it was their last bastion. Takano-san explained this, pointing a finger toward the assembly hall. I've been carrying things in and out of there all day. I mean, I would understand if they put an office like that in the mayor's house or something. But having an office on shrine grounds made it feel kind of like a base camp for Sengoku period warriors.
そんな心境だったんだろうね。
That was basically the mindset, though.
彼らはひなみ沢の守り神様であるお社様を祀る神社に本陣を置くことで必勝を祈願したんだよ。
Placing the main force in the shrine, dedicated to Orishiru-sama, Hinamizawa's guardian deity, was like a prayer for victory. Seems like a dumb thing to pray for victory for, considering that you'd be basically praying for the guardian deity permission to destroy its land, you know? Just saying. Orishiru-sama. That was definitely it. They mentioned Orishiru-sama's curse before. Is it the same Orishiru-sama?
ケイイチ君はお社様は知ってるかい？
Do you know about Orishiru-sama, Keiichi-kun?
この神社の祀る神様の名前だよ。
It's the name of the god worshipped at this shrine.
ひなみ沢を守ってると伝えられてる。
It is said that he protects all of Hinamizawa.
いや、よくは知らないです。
Well, I don't really know much about him.
そうか。じゃあ、ここから先は高野さんの方が詳しいかな。
I see. I think Takano-san knows more about the rest.
タッチ。
Tag, you're it.
平たく言えばそのままよ。
Well, that is generally the whole story.
お社様はこのひなみ沢に伝わる古い神様で、神聖なこの地が属世に汚されることがないよう守り続けてきたと伝えられてるわ。
Oishiro-sama is the ancient god passed down in Hinamizawa, and the villagers say he has been protecting the sanctuary from the poisons of the outside world. So essentially, he's a basic standard guardian deity. I guess you can find that sort of god anywhere you go.
お社様崇拝は一種の先民思想の表れではないかと研究されているわね。
There's research into whether worshipping Oishiro-sama is a manifestation of a kind of elitism, too.
先民思想って言葉、わかるかしら？
What I mean is that the worshippers might think of themselves as chosen people. Believing yourself chosen. A nationalistic belief that you are part of a superior race, or that you're a special clan chosen by the gods. They believe that they're a superior clan, so they believe strongly in cooperating with others, but they also end up being exclusionary toward other clans. I won't go into too much detail, but it's the sort of national and religious ideas that lead to war. Of course, that goes for Japan, too.
大昔のひなみ沢の人たちは、自分たちは人間とは異なる格の違う存在だと強く信じていてね。
A long time ago, the people of Hinamizawa strongly believed themselves different from humans, that they were above them.
下界との交流を格が落ちるとして意味嫌ったそうなの。
They believed that interaction with the lower world would sully their souls.
だから村に下界の人間が来ると不純が混じってお社様の罰が当たると強く信じ、何者も近寄らせなかったそうよ。
So everyone believed that if one from the lower world came to the village, they would be sullied and suffer the wrath of Oishiro-sama. Apparently that kept everyone away.
よそ者を嫌う村ってよく推理小説に出てくるだろ？
Villages that hate outsiders come up all the time in mystery novels.
典型的なそういう村だったらしいんだよ。
This was once a classic example of a xenophobic village.
一応名誉のために断りますけど、大昔のことですからね。
Well, they'll deny to preserve their pride. It was all a long time ago after all.
今は違います。
Things are different now. Are they, though? As far as I'm concerned, the jury is still out on that one. Shion followed up quickly, having sensed the thorns in Toмотaki-san's words. Toмотaki-san, embarrassed at what he said, scratched at his head. So this shrine worships Oishiro-sama, thinks of Hinamizawa as holy ground, and it's a symbol of their traditional hatred of the outside world.
なるほど。
I get it.
だから下界からやってきた汚れたダム計画に立ち向かうために、ひなみ沢の守り神様の神社に本陣を置いたと。
Damn it, I got the backwards. The opposition to the dam project. What is wrong with me today? My brain's malfunctioning. When they said opposition, I thought they meant like... I got opposition and support mixed up. How the hell do I accomplish something like that? How? I get it. So that's why they chose the shrine of Hinamizawa's guardian spirit as their base of operations. To resist the sullied dam construction project that came from the outside. Correct, smiled Takano, pleased. She must dislike stupid people.
円担ぎも万端。
Superstition, every last bit of it.
村人たちは視力を尽くしてダム計画に立ち向かうんだ。
The villagers gave everything, desperate to oppose the dam construction.
その最中なんだよ。
And right in the midst of it,
事実上、あの事件でとどめが入ったと言ってもいい。
the incident drove home the finishing blow. Oyashiro-sama's curse.
ひなみ沢ダムの建設現場の監督がですね、殺されちゃったんです。
The person managing the construction site of Hinamizawa Dam was murdered.
4年前かな。
4 years ago, I believe.
結構派手に新聞に載ったんですけど、覚えてません？
It took the newspaper by storm. Do you remember it?
ちょっと知らないな。
No, not really.
部下と喧嘩して、ツルハシでめった打ちにされて、両手両足、首をもいで捨てられたんだそうです。
He had a fight with a subordinate and was beaten to death with a pickaxe. His limbs and head were torn off, and the remains disposed of.
バラバラ殺人だよ。
The construction manager was murdered and dismembered. Such a gruesome incident. But it was just that. An incident. The person caused the incident after all. Should they really put it down to the curse?
その翌年にはね、ひなみ沢の住人でありながらダム推進派のグループを結成していた男がね。
Then the following year, the man who had organized Hinamizawa's group of dam proponents.
旅行先で崖から落ちて死んじゃったの。
He fell from a cliff while on vacation and died.
これは事故だそうよ。
Apparently it was an accident.
何しろ、ひなみ沢中から敵視されていたからね。
Of course, most of Hinamizawa was hostile towards him.
警察もかなり念入りに他殺の線を洗ったんだけど、結局、事故と断定したみたいだよ。
Now, if memory serves, wasn't that person who fell to her death one of Satoko's parents? The police were all over the case as if it were a homicide, but in the end, it was judged to have been an accident. Now it's an accident. This is the most curse-like one, but it's still far-fetched.
さらに翌年、
Then, on to the next year.
今度はね、この神社の神主さんが原因不明の病で倒れて急死しちゃったの。
This time, the priest of the shrine contracted an unknown illness and suddenly died.
前の神主さんは、こう言っちゃ失礼ですけど、ちょっと日和見な人だったんですよね。
This may sound a little rude, but the old priest was kind of a wait-and-see type.
村中が反ダムで盛り上がってるのに、神主さんは放っておけみたいな感じで。
The whole village was in an uproar about the dam, but he just kind of didn't seem to want to bother.
抵抗運動の象徴である神社の神主さんがそんな感じなんだからね。
The shrine was the symbol of the opposition movement, and its priest, well, his attitude worked against him.
リーダーシップを期待していた当時の村人たちは失望し、中には怒りを抱く人たちもいたそうよ。
The villagers at the time had hoped for a leader, but their hopes were betrayed. Some people were apparently pretty angry too.
だから当時、年寄り連中はみんな言ったんです。
So at the time, all the older people were like,
これはお社様のたたりだってね。
This is Oyashiro-sama's curse. That's what they said. It did seem like every year, dam-related people the village had resentment towards were dying. It was pretty creepy.
しかもね、
Oh, and also,
面白いことに、これらの事件や事故は、毎年必ず綿流しのお祭りの晩に起こるんだよ。
it's interesting. All these incidents and accidents always happen on the night of the Watanagashi festival.
え？
What?
ね、 ちょっとたたりっぽくなってきたでしょ。
See? Starting to sound like a curse now, isn't it?
さらに翌年、
Then the year after that.
つまり去年だね。
In other words, last year.
今度は事故死したダム推進派のリーダー格の男の弟夫婦の奥さんが撲殺死体で発見されちゃったんだ。
The sister-in-law of the man who was the leader of the dam proponents, the one who accidentally died, was discovered dead, having been beaten to death.
もちろん犯人は捕まったけどね。
Of course, they caught that criminal.
ね。
See?
やっぱりたたりっぽいでしょ。
Really seems like a curse, huh? 4 years in a row. Each one of the incidents and accidents were relatively commonplace, but every single one of them happening on the night of the festival worshipping Orishiro-sama? That's not normal.
年寄り連中はこの数年の事件ですっかりお社様のたたりを盲信しちゃって、
The old folks have been blindly accepting Orishiro-sama's curse because of the incidents these past few years.
若い人たちだって最初はバカにしてましたけど、今は誰も茶化しませんね。
Even younger people too. At first they thought it was stupid, but now nobody makes fun of it. Yeah, I can see where she's coming from. Even me. Even if I didn't think there was a curse at all, thinking about all the incidents like this makes me feel like maybe it's real.
例えば今日のお祭り準備にしてもそうさ。
For example, just look at the preparations for the festival you were doing today.
ダムとの戦いで荒れていたとはいえ、何年か前までは綿流しはそんなに盛況していたわけじゃないんだよ。
Everything might have gone crazy during the battle against the dam. But just a few years ago, the Watanagashi festival was never this well attended.
まあ、そうですね。
Well, I guess you're right.
お社様のたたりの話がなかったら、こんなにお祭りには集まりませんね。
If we didn't have Orishiro-sama to talk about, we wouldn't all be coming to a festival like this, huh?
不信心者には罰が当たるかもしれない。だからお社様のお祭りには必ず出ようって言ってる人たち多いです。
There's a lot of people who say that infidels might be punished, so they really need to go to Orishiro-sama's festival. Shion nodded, as if she were mocking herself.
どうかな。
So what about now?
ケイイチ君もひょっとしてたたりは本当にあるのではという気になってきたんじゃないかな。
Keiichi-kun, you're starting to get the feeling that maybe, just maybe, the curse is real, aren't you? I mean, you can't just laugh off people related to the dam construction project all dying like that. If even I feel like this now, then the more superstitious members of the village must feel stronger than that.
まあ、それでも、たたりなんかないと思ってます。
Well, I mean, I still don't think there's a curse.
ですけど、信じる人たちの気持ちもわかるつもりです。
I can understand those that believe there is, though.
さすが。
Wow, Kei-chan.
ケイちゃんは冷静に判断できてますね。
You can really keep a cool head about this. Shion grinned, realizing I rejected the curse.
たたりでもなく偶然のはずもないなら。さて、これらの事件はどういうことになるのかしらね。
If it's neither a curse nor a coincidence, then what do we make of these incidents? Well, if it's neither a curse nor a coincidence, then that would tell me that these incidents are all being perpetrated by people. Takano-san said, smiling playfully, as if posing a riddle. Neither a curse nor a coincidence. But every year someone dies. What should we make of that, then? Toмотaki-san, catching on to the fact I had no idea what to make of it, opened his mouth and came to my aid.
高野さんはね、人間の仕業かもしれないって言ってるんだよ。
Takano-san is suggesting that it might be the work of real people. Huh? simple process of elimination would have gotten me there. I was a little taken aback at not having realized the answer immediately.
だってそうでしょ?
Well, think about it.
たたりでもなく偶然でもないなら、人の意志が働いてるとしか考えられないもの。
If it's neither a curse nor a coincidence, then people must be willingly carrying it out. It's the only explanation, right? If that's true, then yes, that would be the only explanation that makes sense. Pressed to Takano-san. I smiled bitterly in spite of myself. Here I was just a few minutes ago, thinking the very concept of a curse was absolutely absurd. When she suggested it was someone's doing, I ended up thinking there wasn't any way it could be a person. But Takano-san was right. It was either a curse or it was a person's doing. If unrealistic things like curses didn't exist, then the obvious next step would be to start thinking it was people behind it. But if that was the case, I glanced at Shion.
人間が犯人なら、確かにひなみ沢の誰かが犯人なんでしょうね。
If the culprit is a person, then they'd have to be someone from Hinamizawa.
現に、警察の大石さんはそう見てますから。
That's what the police officer, Wushi-san, thinks right now, too.
おいおい。
Hey, wait.
そんなわけあるのかよ。
I can't be. I thought I now knew the reason Mion didn't want to talk about this. If Ueshiro-sama's curse really existed, then that's fine. It would be divine judgment for the damn project business. However, if Ueshiro-sama's curse didn't exist, which it obviously didn't, then the culprit would most likely be someone from Hinamizawa. The villagers had worked desperately to oppose the dam construction project. I knew they had used all sorts of methods to fight against it. If one of those methods was, maybe, murder?
お社様のたたりは、ダム計画抵抗運動の暗部じゃないかって囁かれてるんです。
People whisper that Ueshiro-sama's curse could be the doing of a secret group in the dam resistance movement. Shion dryly put words to my exact thoughts. Of course, I didn't expect it. She was from Hinamizawa, so I didn't think she'd come out and say it herself.
ちょっと落ち着いて考えれば、誰が見たってひなみ沢の誰かの仕業だってわかることです。
If you calm down and think about it, anyone would come to the same conclusion.
ダム工事に反対して得をする人以外、動機がないじゃないですか。
There wouldn't be a motive for anyone but people who benefit from opposing a dam project, right? Yeah, that's true, but as we saw with Chapter 1, if this is the work of people that are just simply seeking retribution against those involved in the dam project, then why did Tomitaki have to die? Takano ended up having to get demoned away, as it were. And then, yeah, just everything that happened after that. So, I have no idea if it's going to happen again, but assuming that Tomitaki ends up biting the bullet again, or somebody who isn't even connected to the dam project at all, then that would again show twice now, you know, hypothetically speaking, that if this is the work of people involved, then they're not necessarily picky about just targeting only people who were connected to the dam project.
それはそうだけど。
I guess that's true. Admitting to the existence of a darker side of the dam conflict would be rude to Mion, who spoke of it so highly. So I couldn't just accept Shion's seemingly logical viewpoint.
それにね、警察の人は知らないだろうけど。
One more thing. The police probably don't know this.
ひなみ沢の人間にはわかる、ひなみ沢の人間の犯行だという証拠があるんです。
There's proof that someone from Hinamizawa committed these crimes. And the people of Hinamizawa know it. And you know this how? What? Shion rebukes me to keep my voice down.
ごめん。
Sorry.
でも、その証拠って、一体。
This proof. What is it?
必ず一人が死んでもう一人が消えるからです。
It's the fact that one person dies and one more person disappears. One more person disappears. Did that mean that someone besides the one who died from the curse was a sacrifice?
消えるって意味がよくわからないな。
What do you mean by disappear?
それは失踪するって意味か？
They just vanish and you never see them again?
そうです。
That's right.
忽然と跡形もなく。
Suddenly and without a trace. As she spoke, Shion pretended to do a trick with her hands like she were making a magician's hat disappear. One dies a mysterious death, and one disappears, never to be seen again. A strange vanishing act. But then why? How does that equate to someone from Hinamizawa being the culprit? If they're going with this, where I think they're going with this, they're basically going to equate to the demon in a way phenomenon that's local to these parts as, well, basically being circumstantial evidence to people's disappearance. So, you know, on account of people believing that they were demoned away, I guess that in itself is circumstantial proof that someone from Hinamizawa is the culprit. Although, as far as I'm concerned, it is simply only that. Circumstantial evidence. It's nothing definite. Nothing hard.
実はね。
Well, actually.
ひなみざわの古い伝統の一つにね。
Hinamizawa has this one really old legend.
お社様の怒りを鎮めるために、生贄を捧げたというのがあるの。
It's about how people offer sacrifices to Orishiro-sama to calm his wrath.
生贄?
Sacrifices?
ええ。
Yes.
すまきにされて底なし沼に生きたままじわじわと時間をかけて沈めたんです。
They say they used to wrap a living person up in a bamboo mat and let them slowly sink down into a bottomless swamp. Takano-san, though, explained something pretty terrible. I look at glee on her face as she did so.
文献を調べた限りでは3日3晩をかけて本当にゆっくりとじわじわと沈めたそうよ。
As far as I can glean from the literature, it actually took 3 days and 3 nights for them to sink. That's a really slow and agonizing death.
ほら、昔の人って結構ダジャレが好きでしょ？
See? Even people a long time ago liked symbolism. I think everybody has always liked symbolism to some extent.
沈めるをかけてたんだと思うの。
As the bodies sunk... Oh, wait. They were already dead. As the bodies sunk, Orishiro-sama's anger would be quelled.
だから時間をかけて沈めるという意味があったんでしょうね。
Both were submerged into the deep. Takano-san was the only one laughing at this. Was she telling a joke or something? Shion didn't move to deny it, but I felt a difference in temperature between her cool expression and Takano-san's.
この辺の話はまあ聞いて想像がつくと思いますけど、ひなみざわの秘史です。
This whole conversation, well, I think you can imagine after hearing it, but it's the secret history of Hinamizawa.
ひなみざわに昔からいる人なら誰でも知ってますが、それを口に出すことはありませんね。
Everyone who has been in Hinamizawa for a long time knows it, but they don't talk about it.
高野さんはひなみざわ出身じゃないけどね。詳しいだろ？
Takano-san's not from here, but she knows quite a lot. How do you know all this, though?
彼女は郷土史とか民間伝承とかが好きでね。
If nobody really likes to talk about it, then how did Takano-san, who's apparently not from here, come to learn about it? She likes local history, folk legends, stuff like that.
全部独学で調べたんだよ。
She learned about all by herself, too. Were there records?
そんなにかっこいいものじゃないのよ。
I'm really not all that amazing.
単なる知的好奇心。
Just curious, that's all.
子供と同じよ。
Like a child.
ただの怖いもの見たさ程度なんだから。
I just want to see scary things for the fun of it. Tomotaki-san laughed, a little bit embarrassed.
ちょっと待ってください。
Wait a minute.
ってことは何ですか？事件のたびに消えるという一人は、生贄に捧げられているって言うんですか？
What does that mean? The other person who disappears during the incidents. You're saying they're offered as a sacrifice? Yeah. Shion answers in one word before anyone else can speak. Someone dies, and someone disappears.
本当に生贄にされてるかどうかは別にして、
Well, whether they actually get sacrificed or not is a different issue.
過去の事件では必ず一人が死ぬ他に一人が消えてるんだよ。
But every time something happened in the past, one person died, and the other person disappeared.
例えば一番最初のダム現場の監督が殺された事件も、複数犯のうちの最後の一人が未だ逮捕されてないらしいんだ。
For example, the first one, where the dam site manager was killed. Apparently one of the people responsible for that still hasn't been arrested.
それは単にうまく逃げおおせてるだけなんじゃないんですか？
Couldn't that just mean he managed to get away?
別に生贄にされたというのとは違うのでは？
I don't see why we should treat him as a sacrifice.
まあ僕もそうだとは思うんだけどね。
Well, that's basically what I think too.
で、次の年のダム推進派のリーダー格の男なんだけど、
There was also the year after that, with the leader of the dam proponents.
確か旅行先で崖から落ちて亡くなったんですよね。
You said he fell from a cliff and died while on vacation, right?
落ちたのは奥さんも一緒らしいの。
Apparently his wife fell as well.
警察は懸命に捜索したんだけど、どうしても奥さんの遺体だけ見つけられないんですって。
The police investigated fervently, but they were never able to find the wife's corpse.
崖下の川は増水してたそうだからね。
The river under the cliff was actually pretty high at the time, though.
どこか川下の湖の湖底で土砂にでも埋まってしまったのかもしれないけどね。
She could have just been buried under the sand at the bottom of some lake downstream or something. The perpetrator of a dismemberment like that wouldn't want to get caught, so they'd be desperate to run away and hide, too. I thought I heard about cases where the corpse wouldn't surface after the person drowned in a swelled river like that. She vanished because of an unfortunate accident, but I still don't see the connection to sacrifices. If you took each of the past incidents in turn, none of the disappearances evoked that terrifying of an image.
その翌年の神主の病死の時ははっきりしてます。
The year after that, with the priest suddenly falling ill and dying, is much clearer.
奥さんが遺書を残したんです。
His wife left a suicide note.
死んでお社様のお怒りを鎮めに参りますってな感じのが神主さんが亡くなった晩に自宅に残されてたそうですから。
They found it in their house the night the priest died. It said something along the lines of her quelling Oyashiro-sama's wrath through her death. The curse. It seems to turn up in this one, though.
まあ真相は闇の中なんだけどね。
Well, we may never know the truth of the matter.
その奥さんが受水自殺した沼は、さっき高野さんも話した例のでっかい底なし沼ってことになっててね。
The swamp the wife drowned herself in was a giant, bottomless one. Takano mentioned before.
警察も沼を調べたそうだけど、遺品がいくつか見つかっただけで遺体は発見できなかった。
The police investigated it, but all they could find were several of her possessions. They never found the corpse.
警察は偽装自殺を疑って今でも探してるらしいよ。
The police suspect it was a faked suicide, and they're still investigating it now. Someone dies every year. In the same way, someone goes missing every year. Is she trying to tell me that everyone who vanished was kidnapped by some extremely efficient means and dumped into the bottomless swamp, still alive, and drowned to death? But a curse? That's unbelievable in its own right.
その翌年には、なんだっけ、ダム推進派の男の弟夫婦の奥さんだっけ？
And next year, what was it? The damn proponent's sister-in-law?
が殺されたんだよな。
She was killed. So, at that time, someone else vanished.
消えました。
Someone did disappear.
北条聡君っていう私と同い年の男の子です。
It was a boy around my age named Satoshi Hoju. There's Satoshi again.
殺された主婦の義理の甥にあたります。
He's a nephew by marriage of the woman killed. Shion cut in with a slightly strong tone of voice. She knew the boy who had disappeared pretty well. At least that's the vibe I was getting.
まあ、ざっとこんな感じね。
Well, that about sums everything up.
必ず一人が死んで、必ず一人が忽然と消える。
One person always dies, and one person always suddenly disappears. Leaving the suddenness aside, the fact that each incident involved one person disappearing.
じゃあ、つまり、
So that means...
一人目が死ぬのは、お社様のたたりで、二人目が失踪するのは、村人が生贄に捧げてるからだって言うんですか？
I wonder how long it's going to take for Keiichi here to realize how all of his friends in the club are connected to all these incidents. So that means the first person who dies is because of Oishiro-sama's curse, and the second person who vanishes is because the villagers sacrificed them? Is that it?
ケイちゃん、たたりなんかないです。
Kei-chan, there is no curse.
誰かがお社様のたたりという名で一人目を殺し、誰かがその生贄として二人目をさらってるんです。
Someone kills the first person under the guise of the curse, and someone takes away the second person to be a sacrifice.
でも、シオン、それじゃあ、村の中に犯人がいるってことになるんだぞ。
But Shion, that means the criminal is in the village.
私は初めからそう睨んでます。
That's what I've been guessing from the start.
結構ショックですよ。
It's pretty shocking though, you know.
この昭和の時代に、そんな古い因習で人殺しが堂々と行われるなんて。
We live in the Showa period. It's kind of hard to believe people are committing murder like it's nothing, using some ancient justifications, huh? It didn't have anything to do with our discussion, but I get the feeling that maybe Shion didn't like Hinazawa very much. I'm honestly beginning to get that impression too. Mion enjoyed talking about Hinazawa and its epic tales, so she had avoided talking about Oishiro-sama's curse, which didn't paint Hinazawa in a good light no matter how you looked at it. She was trying not to give me a bad impression of the village, so she didn't say anything. Shion, on the other hand, was somehow different. She wasn't rejecting the concept of a curse to purge Hinazawa of this bad impression, but rather because she strongly believed that a member of the village was the criminal behind this. Her conviction seemed a bit removed from the tight sense of community held by the people of Hinazawa. Once upon a time, they looked so alike you could mistake one for the other. But talking to her now, I was getting a powerful feeling that Shion had a completely different personality than Mion.
じゃあ、皆さんは、ひなみ沢の誰かが犯人だと思ってるんですね。
Then everyone else. They all think someone from Hinazawa did it, right? Neither Shion nor Takano-san answered that. The deafening silence told me all that needed to be said.
じゃあ、重ねて質問します。
Then let me ask another question.
ひなみ沢の誰かが犯人なら、犯人は誰なんですか？
If someone from Hinamizawa is the culprit, then who is it? If they knew that, then they would be sitting in a cell somewhere. Keiichi. Neither Shion nor Takano-san had a reply to that question either. Though it may have been rude to ask, I had hoped they wouldn't have one. The reason I asked was to argue that their explanation that the culprit was from Hinamizawa was nothing more than one possibility. Shion caught on to my plan. She gave a pained smile at my petty spite and opened her mouth to speak.
私が言ったのは所詮状況証拠ですからね。
All I said really just amounts to circumstantial evidence anyway. Well, I'm glad you admit that.
具体的に犯人の名前を知ってたなら警察に突き出してます。
If any of us knew who it really was, we'd have gotten him into police hands already. As would anybody. Then what about Takano-san? She too smiled dryly as Shion had and opened her own mouth.
ね。
Well...
はじめに誤解を解いておきたいんだけど。
I'd like to clear one thing up.
別に私は探偵さんのつもりはないのよ。
I'm not a detective or anything, alright?
本音を言うとね、犯人が誰かなんてことには興味ないの。
In all honesty, I'm not really interested in who the culprit is.
高野さんも困った人だな。
Takano-san, you sure are a handful. Tomotaki-san gives a bitter laugh at her surprising opinion on the matter.
私はね、
You see,
古式ゆかしい残酷な風習やおとぎ話に興味があるだけ。
I just like cruel and atrocious ancient traditions and fairy tales.
知的好奇心で面白がってるだけなの。
I only enjoy them from a curious onlooker's perspective.
だから一連の事件も犯人は誰かってことよりも事件の存在自体が
So even
古い印象がまだ根深く残ってることの証拠だって思って面白がってるくらい。
So even for this string of incidents, it's not so much finding out who the culprit is, but enjoying thinking about how the old traditions displayed by the incidents themselves still seems to have some pretty deep roots around here. Mion must be getting real fed up with waiting by now. Though she described herself as nothing more than a curious onlooker, her smile was as sharp as the tip of a blade. Women like her felt very strange and a little scary to me. Maybe it's just that I was in fearful awe of the person whose emotions I couldn't comprehend.
私は全然面白くないですけどね。
Well, I don't think any of this is interesting at all.
明日はいよいよ綿流しのお祭りですけど、誰にも死んでほしくないし、誰も消えてほしくないです。
The Watanagashi festival is coming up tomorrow, but I don't want anyone to die or disappear.
明日か。
Tomorrow, huh? That's right. It completely slipped my mind. The string of murder incidents people attributed to Orishiro-sama's curse. It wasn't over. If last year's incident wasn't the end, then tomorrow night at the festival, would someone die and someone disappear? That's the big question, isn't it?
明日は一体誰が死んで誰が消えるのかしらね。
I do wonder who will die tomorrow and who will disappear, though. Takano-san said, running a comb through her hair with elegant movements, with a thin smile and a voice that nearly made me shudder. She almost looked like she was enjoying the thought of the incidents that could happen tomorrow. Then, out of the blue, we heard a loud round of applause. They seemed to be ending the drinking party early. Right, I was making Mion wait this whole time, wasn't I? Yes, you were. I should go back to her soon.
高野さんもからかいすぎだよ。
You're teasing the kid too much, Takano-san.
ケイチ君がすっかり真に受けてしまったじゃないか。
Now Keiichi-kun thinks it's all true.
ごめんなさいね。
I apologize.
また悪い癖が出ちゃったみたい。
It's that bad habit of mine again, said Takano-san, sticking her tongue out bashfully. The strangeness in her expression was nowhere to be found.
高野さんはね、純粋そうな子を見るとからかいたくなる悪い癖があるんだよ。
When Takano-san sees an innocent child like you, she can't help wanting to poke fun at them. It's a real bad habit.
ケイチ君が真剣に聞いてくれるもんだから、ついつい調子に乗っちゃったみたいなんだ。
Keiichi-kun, you listened to everything so earnestly that she ended up getting carried away. Unlike Takano-san, Tomotaki-san seemed like a totally normal person with common sense. They were apologizing after realizing what kind of impression they'd given me.
高野さんが今した話はあくまでもフィクションだからね。
The stuff Takano-san just said is all fiction.
もしもさっきの話で、ケイチ君がひなみ沢に持ってたいい印象が傷つけられてしまったなら、純粋に申し訳なく思うよ。
If it made you harbor any bad impressions about Hinamizawa, then we apologize for that.
もう、二郎さんたら。
Jeez, Jiro-san.
高野さんも謝った方がいい。
You apologize too, Takano-san.
怖がらせてしまってごめんなさいってね。
Tell him you're sorry for scaring him. Takano-san and Tomotaki-san were arguing and messing around now. The strained air around us had already dissipated.
ケイちゃんもそろそろ戻った方がいいです。
Kei-chan, you should get going soon too.
お姉は嫉妬深いですからね。
Mion is the jealous type.
私は顔を合わせると喧嘩になりそうだから、このまま帰ることにします。
If she sees me, she'll probably start a fight. So I'll just be going home. I would argue that you have been doing more to help start the fights in your own way than she's been.
そうなのか？
Really?
じゃあ、俺はミオンのとこに戻って、待たせたことを謝るかな。
Then I'll go see what Mion's doing and apologize for making her wait, I guess.
迷惑をかけたね、ケイチ君。
Sorry for being such a nuisance, Keiichi-kun.
ミオンちゃんに、ケイチ君を長く借りすぎて申し訳ないと伝えてくれないかな。
Could you tell Mion-chan we're sorry for borrowing you for so long?
あ、はい。伝えても、機嫌は直さないと思いますけど、一応。
Yes. I don't think telling her will make her feel any better, but sure. Tomotaki-san and Takano-san, standing next to each other, both began to chuckle.
じゃあね、ケイちゃん。
Okay then, Kei-chan.
明日のお祭り、どこかですれ違えるといいですね。
Let's try and run into each other at tomorrow's festival.
会えるよ。
We'll see each other.
どうせ俺たちのことだ。
I mean, it's us we're talking about after all.
賑やかにやってるに決まってる。
We'll be making so much trouble, it'll be hard for you not to find us. Shion and I said our goodbyes to Tomotaki-san and Takano-san. Before we could leave, Takano-san called out to us.
私の話を真剣に聞いてくれてありがとうね。
Thanks for listening so earnestly to what I had to say.
前原くんがあまりに聞き上手だったんで、話しててとても楽しかったわ。
You're just so good at listening. I had a great time talking to you.
聞き上手なんて、そんな。
Good at listening? No, not at all. I was just in a state of perpetual bewilderment from the shocking topics being thrown at me one after another.
今日した話、面白かった？
Did you like my story today?
まあ、興味深かったです。
It was pretty interesting.
なら、また今度も聞いてくれる？
Then I'll tell you some more sometime, okay?
ひなみ沢の昔話とかおとぎ話にも興味深いものがたくさんあるの。
There's a lot of pretty interesting legends and fairy tales about Hinamizawa.
もちろん、薄気味悪いのがたくさんね。
Of course, a lot of strange and creepy ones, too.
私特選のをたくさん披露するわよ。
I'll choose a bunch of my favorites and tell you about them. I was kind of happy, but kind of worried. I can't help but smile dryly and scratch at my head.
ケイチ君、もう行ってもいいんだよ。
Keiichi-kun, you can go now.
高野さんがからかっているだけさ。
Takano-san is just messing with you. They say goodbye again and run off. I heard Tomotaki-san call out behind him in a clear voice that we should see each other at the festival tomorrow. When I went to the tent Mion was waiting for me in, she was nowhere to be found. Probably got tired of waiting for you. I made her wait so long. Maybe she got mad and went home. After asking some adults passing by, I heard that she went home, talking to some relatives. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But my regret for having made Mion wait wasn't enough to triumph over the impression Takano-san and Shion's uncanny story left on me. Serial murder incidents that happened 4 years in a row. Would tomorrow's events make this the 5th? And the possibility that someone from Hinamizawa is carrying this all out under the guise of the curse. The queer tradition of ritual sacrifice, entirely unbecoming of the Showa period we lived in. I regretted it a little, though it was too late. If none of those creepy stories had anything to do with me, then I should have let Mion pull me away from that crowd. I felt a little ashamed about letting my cheap curiosity get the better of me. Too little too late now, my friend. New tips unlocked. Scrapbook notes 1 through 3 and the festival's around the corner. Well, I wonder what all these scrapbooks are going to contain. But we can find out about that and about that one last tip in the next episode, because I think I'm just going to go ahead and end things here. So, the yearly murders and disappearances are still a thing in this chapter. So there's still plenty of... So yeah, that's another similarity that this chapter does have with chapter 1. So the big question I have here is, who's going to be murdered and made to disappear tomorrow? Because somehow I have a feeling that things are going to repeat again. The only thing I'm not sure about is who the hell is going to be the victims. Are the victims going to be? Of course, I hope I'm wrong. But then I also realize that if I'm wrong and that doesn't happen, then what other horrors are going to await me then instead, if not that? As fun as it is to speculate about all this stuff, we can do this another time. Preferably as I'm going along by the seat of my pants. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this latest episode of Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 2. If you did and you want to see more content from me, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all next time. Take care.